Hi guys! Today I'll be teaching you how to make this Rainbow Loom Octopus. This tutorial is divided into 4 videos or parts. On part 1, which is this video, I'll be teaching you how to make the tentacles. And on part 2 will be the making of the head. Part 3 is the funnel or the siphon, that pink one, and some other parts. And part 4 is the stitching together of a. While the puffy flower that my octopus is wearing has a different tutorial, I'll link them all down below in the description box. So the materials you're gonna need are a crochet hook, a mini loom, 2 buttons or safety eyes, stitch markers or C-clips, 3056 yellow rubber bands, 8 deep purple rubber bands, and 30 pink rubber bands. Now let's get started. First, let's make a magic ring. Wrap your rubber band around the mini loom 3 times, like this. So now we have our magic ring. For round 1, the pattern is 6 chain stitches in the magic ring. So insert your hook in the magic ring, make 1 chain stitch. For those who are new to my channel, please check out the other easier projects for the basics of Rainbow Loom, Amigurumi. So 2 chain stitches, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now we're done with round 1. Let's remove it from the mini loom. For round 2, the pattern is 2 chain stitches or increase on every chain. So the first chain, let's put 2 chain stitches or increase. So increase on the second chain. Increase on the third chain. Increase on the fourth chain. Increase on a fifth chain. And increase on the last or the sixth chain. And let's put a stitch marker on our last chain. For round 3, the pattern is 1 chain stitch on the first, then increase on the second, back to 1, then 2 chain stitch, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. You should end up having 18 chains. So insert your hook on the first chain, 1 chain stitch, then increase on the second chain. Back to 1 chain stitch, then increase on the second chain. Back to 1 chain stitch, then increase, back to 1, then increase, 1, increase, back to one chain stitch, then increase. Now let's transfer our stitch marker to the last chain. For round 4, the pattern is one chain stitch all the way around. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. Now we're done with round 4. Let's transfer our stitch marker to the last stitch. For round 5, the pattern is one chain stitch on the first 8 chains, then stitch together 9 and 10 or decrease, then one chain stitch on the last 8 chains. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, then stitch together 9 and 10 or decrease the round. So insert your hook only on the outer part of the chain, like that. Then grab a rubber band, pull through the 2 chains and make a loop. Grab the first loop and pull through the other 2 loops. So that's how you decrease around. Then the next pattern, one chain stitch on the last 8 chains. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now we're done with round 5. Let's transfer our stitch marker to the last stitch. For round 6, the pattern is one chain stitch on the first 7 chains, then decrease on the 8th and 9th chain, then one chain stitch on the last 8 chains. So insert your hook on the first chain, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, now decrease on rounds 8 and 9. So insert your hook only on the outer part of the chain, like that. Then grab a rubber band, pull through the 2 chains, make a loop, grab the first loop and pull through the other 2 loops. So the next pattern is 1 chain stitch in the last 8 chains. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Let's transfer our stitch marker to the last stitch. For round 7, the pattern is 1 chain stitch in the first 6 chains, then stitch or decrease 7 and 8, then 1 chain stitch in the last 8 chains. So start here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now decrease 7 and 8. Insert only on the outer chains. Grab a rubber band, pull through, make a loop, grab the first loop and pull through the other 2 loops. Now next is 1 chain stitch on the last 8 chains. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Let's transfer stitch marker to the last stitch. For rounds 8 to 12, the pattern is 1 chain stitch all the way around. So there's 15 chains on each round. So 1, 2, 3. Just pause the video, finish off 5 rounds, and come back when you're done. Now we're done with round 12. It should look like this. For round 13, the pattern is 1 chain stitch on the first 3 chains, then decrease on the 4th and the 5th, then back to 1 chain stitch on the 3 chains, then decrease, then 1 chain stitch on the 3 chains, and decrease. So you should end up having 12 chains. So insert your hook on the first chain, 1, 2, 3, then decrease, insert only on the outer chains, like that, then make a loop, then pull through the other 2 loops. Let's go back to 1 chain stitch on the next 3 chains. 1, 2, 3, then decrease again, only on the outer chains. Now back to one chain stitch and the next 3 chains. 1, 2, 3, then decrease on the last 2 chains. Now let's transfer stitch marker to the last stitch. Next round, one chain stitch all around for 2 rounds, rounds 14 and 15. So let's start here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So repeat this pattern for round 15. Just pause the video and come back when you're done. Now we're done with round 15. You should end up having 12 chains. Let's put stuffings or polyfiber fill or cotton fill before we continue to round 16. For round 16, the pattern is one chain stitch on the first 4 chains, then decrease, then one chain stitch on the next 4 chains, then decrease. So start here. You should end up having 10 chains. So 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, then decrease only on the outer chains. I'm sorry, it's blurry. Then back to one chain stitch in the next 4 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, then decrease on the last 2 chains. So let's transfer our stitch marker to the last stitch. Now we're done with our tentacle. Let's make 7 more of this. So now it should look like this. It's a bit flattened at the end of the rounds. So this is where we're going to attach to the body, like this. Now pause the video and finish off all the 8 tentacles. Now we're done with 8 tentacles. Then let's join them together using a C-clip. So let's find this last chain. Then you notice this stretched rubber band. Let's put a C-clip there. Then let's count 4 chains to the right. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is also a bit stretched out chain. Let's put a C-clip. Then we will attach this to the other tentacles. Also in this order or in these chains. So let's look for that stretched out chain here. Then make sure that your tentacles are facing the same sides. So here after the 4 chains, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then let's attach this to the other or the C-clip like that. Now we're done with our tentacles and we're ready to connect this together with the body on part 4 of this tutorial like that. Thank you for watching.